Broken Ranch IPA.
Here we go. Here we go. We're in the house, dude. We're here.
In the house.
Yeah,
It's a good looking game.
God, I want to play Ni no Kuni 2!
Yeah, we should be playing this.
It's exceptional.
Why did you guys get to play all the good games?
Wow.
I want to play. Look at this boss.
Start talking.
This is an intense.
Yeah, I'm waiting for one of you guys to
I'll
start
just
talking.
talk about where we started.
What
so,
just says start talking?
I was enthralled by Ni no Kuni right there. So we got behind this theater demo of Ni no Kuni. Also, one guy talking about the world, all the lore, all the characters. We don't know if this is a prequel or sequel to the original Ni no Kuni, by the way, yet, do we? Couldn't figure it out.
No, they haven't. They have not said one thing about the other than the.
I heard you
base plot.
speculating. You're like timelining in your brain.
Yeah, there's stuff I've seen that I could see this possibly being a prequel.
Yeah,
but they haven't said, and I think it's best not to know. Like, I don't think they'll say anything. I think you'll have to play through the game to figure out what, if any, of its connection is.
I'll actually just talk about the part I played the game because there's two sections that you're able to choose from. One was this boss fight you're seeing right here on screen, Long Fang, and another which was like a trial of the courage or something. It was called something like that. Pretty much where I started off when I was playing as the character. What's the main character's name again? Evan, right. So you're like in a desert area almost, kind of like up on a plateau, I would say. A bunch of people around that you could talk to. Oh, man. It's really hard to... This game is super gorgeous. And it ran really good. I was surprised how good that game ran. Mm. Anyways, you like ride some airships to some sweet little island, and it does that classic open, or like you know, your Final Fantasy, you're looking at the world map. Except you're like adorable and chibi now, and everyone else is with you. Run into a temple, get in a boss fight with some huge beast. What was it, like a bear or something like that?
It's like a giant gorilla.
Oh, gorilla, yeah. Hmm. So, unlike Ni no Kuni 1, this game is all real time now, as you can see. No more pausing and like familiars are gone.
Yeah. During the chibi part, which was the map or whatever.
Yeah.
Played Ni no Kuni theme.
Oh, did it? I couldn't hear. Okay.
Played classic Ni no Kuni theme.
Oh man, it's so good.
It was in there.
Just to give some context for Evan and what he's trying to do, his kingdom was taken away from him by
what's that rat's name?
Yeah, Otto Mausinger.
Great names once
Mauser.
again. Meow. Yeah.
It's called Mauser.
Mauser.
And then he, but to become a king, he has to like. I don't know exactly how he does it, but he's supposed to he has to make a bond with this character named Lofty, which is
so he has to undergo the
trial.
In there. That's what we were talking about with the trial.
There he is.
That's how you forge the bond. Is you prove yourself to the Kingmaker, and where Evan. I wish Dawn was here, and here's why I wish Dawn was here, because the Kingmaker of this place. Is called Gold Paw, and it's a city that has multiple casinos. It's all about gambling, and they decide everything with a roll of the dice.
Yes. Did you get to explore the city?
Yes, you can absolutely explore the city, but this wonderful gambling Don city is being attacked by Longfang, by their Kingmaker, and it's being burned. And so you go with Evan and your friends, and this is later on in the game, and you go and you defeat it.
Yes, but the king, this Kingmaker is bonded with
Pugnacious.
Is a pugnacious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wish we had that art, man.
Yeah, that was gorgeous, hilarious.
And his scepter has a die at the top because he's the only one that's able to roll the die to make the decisions.
So about the combat system. Real quick.
Oh yeah.
So, like we said earlier, all real time now, no more pausing or anything like that.
Well, I mean,
there was like
it was a hybrid kind of system.
There's no more of that hybrid though now.
Yeah, because there's no more familiars.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about managing them.
So if that was a problem for you, yeah.
So how does this thing with the Higgledies work? With these always all like
they're on the map. And I don't exactly know what triggers it, but they can give you buffs if you run up to them and push X. They can give you more armor or bonus attack.
It seemed contextual for what was going on because you have Yeah, so you have Longfang, and his most damaging attacks are his fire attacks. And right when he was about to do a fire attack, the Flame Higgledies would group up, and you could go, and you would get a contextual action where you could push X, and it would create a fire circle, basically.
Oh, see.
And as long as you were in that circle, you nulled all fire damage.
See, I didn't do this fight, so that didn't occur. Like, they were just there.
Yeah.
And there wasn't, like, a big scene happening that you knew, like, okay, I need to get into here to be safe. It was just kind of like, hey, there's a buff
like
right
there
there.
are other ways to command them, too.
Yeah, there are other ways to command them.
They increase the potency of your spells as
Yep.
well. Mm-hmm. Like you can hold down every action in this game. You can hold down the corresponding button and charge it up.
Yeah,
everything from the basic Evan's basic melee sword attack to his long range like spell
like bubble thing.
Yeah. The different Higgledies are grouped together by elements, and they will attack independently. You don't command them; they'll just auto attack. However, if they have a buff, like let's say the Earth Higgledies, for instance, they'll give you an attack buff periodically. If they get damaged, if that group gets damaged, that will go away. So you have to be mindful of that as well.
Yeah. So some fights you may often be buffing quite a bit.
Can you switch which character you play as?
You know, you couldn't in the demo.
No, not from what we saw. And I didn't see any way to like maybe change their AI or anything like that.
Roland here in the
like
suit,
any tactics options.
Right.
Yeah.
Roland is from the other world, right? So that's where the main character is from.
He's a former president.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. He's a president.
Yeah.
So he teaches you how to be a king because he was a president.
Yeah, and then you have Tani.
Tani, she's the daughter of
the daughter of the leader of the Sky Pirates.
Who's Batu.
Oh, Batu looks great, Huber.
Nice.
Does not trust you at first. Does not want to help you on your quest to become a king. But there is a scene where he's kneeling down and he just sets out a beaming smile, and so something happens where you kind of win over Batu's heart.
There's also a skill, what was it called? Where you could push L2 or R2, where it brought up a few skills. And one of them was square, triangle, circle, or X. Kind of reminded me of almost Kingdom Hearts, the menu that you could bring up down there.
The spellcasting.
So there was like two melee ones. One was like a fast slash one kind of. Then there was another like AoE spin. Then there was that long range bubble attack, and there was one that healed.
Yep.
I got a hot update. You will be able to switch characters in the complete game.
Excellent. Oh. That's good to know.
I thought, they actually showed it off in a trailer. Yeah. We just couldn't
in the demo,
and we don't know how to do it.
It was strange because we had seen it before, but we couldn't hear for some reason. Yeah.
It might just be the D-pad.
Boss fights seemed pretty long too, which I appreciated. Actually, they weren't super fast.
Yeah. I think a big reason is why the combat is interesting is because of all of the mechanics that were in a single fight. So the other fight against Trog, the giant gorilla, what you could do is he would charge up an attack, and if you used a physical skill against him, you'd interrupt it. And you're right, if you're not taking advantage of those situations, and you can actually do it to Longfang as well, where you put him in a weakened state, that's where you really do damage. If you don't take advantage of those opportunities, if you're not
do
quick
a lot
enough,
less,
or if you're spending time to heal or something, because these windows are relatively small, and so you're really going to be dragging out the fight much longer.
That's Batu there.
Yeah,
that's Batu. Yep.
Nice. What was like the thief guy in the first one?
I don't remember his name. With the stubble and the
yeah. I'm sorry.
No, it's irrelevant.
Swain?
I'm just
Swain.
I think so. Yeah.
Swain.
Did you encounter any like characters that are not in your party that are just insanely memorable?
What? I don't
Batu
know.
is pretty.
Oh, he's not in your party.
Yeah. Besides
okay.
Batu.
Yeah.
That's not we play.
Batu and then
and Pugnacious.
Pugnacious, yeah. Pugnacious is pretty good.
But there's another element to the game that wasn't in the demo that they told us about.
Yes,
which is pretty freaking cool. Is the kingdom mode, where eventually you I don't know if at some point you will get your original kingdom back, but eventually just start forming your own kingdom. You start building a kingdom.
This is where their Dark Cloud work, I feel like, comes into play a little bit.
You recruit citizens and you direct what kinds of buildings to create, and you just
and it
make
sounds
a
like
town
you can
the way you
establish trade with other kingdoms.
Yeah, it's a Huber joint.
Yeah. And they said that they
Town
wanted
building.
They considered the familiar system in Kuni 1 sort of the metagame, so sort of the thing that you didn't have to go all out on, but was this other thing that you could spend a lot of time with. This is that here, where it is going to be introduced in the story and you're going to be interacting with the story, but you don't have to get your kingdom to a certain point to progress or anything like that. It's not going to be a barrier to story progression.
Yeah. But man, they showed a piece of art for it.
Yeah.
And you want to build that kingdom.
Yeah.
You're going to want to do that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious. I'm curious what all kinds of things you can build, and then like what advantages they're going to give you.
Yeah.
Because, it's just gonna be interesting to see how that balances between like making your town look the way you want to look, but then also have the functionality and all of that, and and what it takes to attract new citizens, and how much of it is going out on quests, like kind of like Breath of the Wild, or how much of it is like actually about building the town itself to be appealing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Damiani, what did you think of the combat? Did you think it was a notable improvement over Ni no Kuni 1? Was there anything that bothered you?
I think people find it more enjoyable, honestly. It's definitely, because it is all in real time and thus more action oriented, I think that is definitely, and then there's more like real time strategy involved with like placement, positionals, basically.
Yeah, it looks like it's all about position.
Yeah. It felt like there was a little bit more reward going through the battles than perhaps the original Ni no Kuni. Felt like the original Ni no Kuni, it was just, do you have a certain type of familiar? Do you have a certain type of spell that could, like, it was very good against the boss? Otherwise, it was just react, like, block at the right time against, like, their attacks, heal yourself up, try and do some damage, repeat, and survive. I think the familiar system was probably a weakness of the original Ni no Kuni.
Sure.
Because I did not feel, with the exception of like a handful of familiars, they really mattered that much. Who was really in your lineup? So this feels more gratifying, honestly, than what I played in Ni no Kuni 1.
Yeah.
So
Damiani, I want to just address something. A lot of people are asking if playing Ni no Kuni 1 is essential to enjoy Ni no Kuni 2.
It does not appear to be.
at this point, it does not seem essential.
I do not think it is essential, but Ni no Kuni 1 is a game that, upon completing, will stay with you probably for the rest of your life. It is absolutely worth playing if you have the time. If you just don't have the time, though, you can easily hop into Ni no Kuni 2.
Yeah, there was
the one. I don't know. Maybe there's others that you guys are familiar with, but this, like, he was from Ding Dong Dell.
Yeah, he was the king.
Yeah, so he was the heir.
Oh,
Evan. Yeah.
Evan.
Yeah, he had a guardian, Anna something, Aranella. That was one I forgot, but I don't know what role she's gonna play. But the character, bring up characters memorable. There was that piece of character art, key art.
Yes.
That had a roster of characters we have not seen in action.
It was such a glorious image.
That actually was the moment where I started to think this could be a prequel. Because there were two characters, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe, oh, okay. Also, I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly. Like, I don't know if I can even reload my save to see it. There's a place in Ding Dong Dell. And I'm truly sorry if this spoils anything for either of these games. I don't know. There's a gravestone. If you go behind it, there's a ghost boy. I don't know if he looks like Evan or not, but part of me was like, didn't it look a little bit like Evan?
Did he have the ears?
Huh?
Did he have the ears?
I don't remember.
He didn't have the ears.
He didn't have them.
I'll have to,
I gotta say, chat's getting really frustrated because the developers said that there's no connection.
I really think there's going to be callbacks at some point, references.
Okay.
Because you don't just call a game Ni no
Again,
Kuni 2.
so-
You call it like Ni no Kuni something, something, something.
What about Final Fantasy 2?
There's the
True.
There's
true,
the explanation.
true.
There's an explanation that makes sense that this game would have no direct connection to one,
True.
but it's still part of the series.
By the way,
And like calling it 2, having Ding Dong
play-
Dell, which is also in 1,
anyway,
similar to
sorry,
Final
we
Fantasy,
don't
having
answer.
just the repeated monsters.
Yeah.
There's
I get
something that I want to say about the combat that I encountered both in the Longfang fight and in the Trog fight that I'm a little bit worried about, and I think it comes across in the footage. Because of the higgledies, there's just a lot more going on visually. There are a lot more effects going on. There's a lot more just your screen being covered, and there were definitely a lot of times where I couldn't even see Evan properly to
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can
like
see,
move,
right here.
like
Okay.
yeah, it's that like right there with the fire. That happens more frequently than I was expecting, where it was hard to tell. Okay, what should I be doing here because I don't even have a good position for my character, and so I'm a little bit worried about that in the final game.
I didn't run into that in my combat encounter, but it doesn't look as hectic as this one.
Yeah. The other thing that I want to bring up, just for people who are unaware, so Evan does defeat. He forged a king's bond with somebody named Lofty, and it is very much a Drippy replacement.
Right.
They called him a mascot?
They called him a mascot, and if you listen to his dialogue in the trailer, he talks almost exactly like
Is it a
Drippy.
Welsh accent? I can't remember.
It sounded like that to me. He doesn't...
There he is.
Yeah, there he is.
He's got a lumpy head.
But, yeah. He's very cute.
But yeah, Ni no Kuni 2. Super hype.
You know what the best
There it
part
is.
of this is?
What's that?
The release date.
November 10th.
Can you believe
Oh,
that?
Coming in
my
hot.
gosh. This year.
This
And-
year.
And it's coming to PC.
And coming to PC.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yep. Coming to PC.
It's day and date, right?
I believe it is day and date, yes.
Excellent. All right.